You've seen it happen. The man who gets attacked, criticized, questioned, and says absolutely nothing, while everyone else scrambles to explain themselves, justify their position, defend their reputation. He just stands there, unmoved, unbothered. And somehow, in that silence, he becomes the most powerful person in the room. This is not about being passive. This is not about taking abuse. This is about understanding a psychological principle so counterintuitive that 99% of men will never grasp it. The moment you defend yourself, you have already lost. Today, I am going to show you why the men who never explain, never justify, and never defend themselves end up controlling every room they enter, and more importantly, how you can become one of them. But first, you need to understand why your current approach is destroying your authority before you even realize it.
Every time someone challenges you and you feel that urge to respond, that is your conditioning betraying you. Society has programmed you to believe that silence equals guilt, that not defending yourself means accepting the attack. So you explain, you justify, you present your case like you're on trial, and with every word, you hand them more power. Watch what happens when a man gets accused of something in a group. He immediately launches into explanation mode. "That's not what I meant," or "You're taking it out of context," or "Let me clarify what really happened." His voice gets defensive, his body language shifts, he starts seeking validation from the crowd. And everyone in that room, even if they were on his side, suddenly sees weakness. Because strong men do not explain themselves to people who don't matter. The trap is believing that logic will save you, that if you just present the facts clearly enough, if you just make your case compelling enough, you will win. But social dynamics are not courtrooms. They are power games, and the person explaining is never the one with power. This is why you keep losing respect, why people interrupt you, talk over you, dismiss your opinions, why you walk away from confrontations feeling like you somehow lost, even when you were right. Every explanation you give signals that their opinion of you matters. Every defense you mount proves that you are seeking their approval. Every justification you offer demonstrates that you consider them a judge over your life. You have been taught to believe that good communication means being understood, that mature adults discuss things rationally, that if there's a misunderstanding, you clear it up with dialogue. But here is what they don't tell you. Some people are not trying to understand you. They are trying to control you. And the moment you engage their game, you have given them exactly what they wanted, proof that they can make you dance. Think about the last time someone questioned your decision, your choice, your behavior. Remember how you felt compelled to explain yourself? That compulsion, that automatic response, is your programming, and it is keeping you weak. I learned this principle by watching men who commanded respect without effort. Men who could walk into hostile environments and somehow shift the entire dynamic just by existing. Men who faced criticism, accusations, even outright attacks, and remained completely unaffected. These were not men with perfect lives or flawless reputations. They were men who understood something fundamental about human psychology. People only attack those they believe they can affect. When you defend yourself, you prove they can affect you. When you explain yourself, you prove they have power over you. When you justify your actions, you prove you need their approval. But when you remain silent, when you treat their attack like background noise, when you look at them with the mild amusement of someone watching a child throw a tantrum, you demonstrate something that makes them deeply uncomfortable. You exist beyond their ability to control. This is not about being rude or dismissive. This is not about ignoring legitimate feedback or refusing to communicate. This is about recognizing when someone is trying to pull you into their emotional state, trying to make you reactive, trying to force you to justify your existence, and choosing not to play. Here is how you weaponize silence to reclaim your authority. First, tactical indifference. When someone attacks your character, your choices, your behavior, you receive it like weather. Not good weather or bad weather, just weather. You don't argue with rain. You don't defend yourself against wind. You acknowledge its existence and continue with your objectives. The key is in your facial expression. Not angry, not defensive, not even particularly interested, just present, like you're listening to someone read a grocery list. This creates massive psychological discomfort in your attacker because they are getting no emotional return on their investment. Second, the strategic redirect. Instead of defending against accusations, you redirect to outcomes. Someone says you're being too aggressive in business. You don't explain your approach. You say, the results speak for themselves. Someone questions your parenting choices. You don't justify your methods. You say, my kids will show you what works. This forces them to argue with reality instead of your reasoning. And reality does not care about their feelings. Third, status reframing. When someone tries to put you on trial, you subtly but decisively reframe who has authority in the interaction. Someone demands you explain your decision. You pause, look at them with genuine curiosity, and ask, why do you need to understand my decision? You are not being defensive. You are not being aggressive. You are genuinely questioning why they believe they are entitled to an explanation. This flips the entire dynamic. Suddenly, they are the one who needs to justify why they think they have authority over your choices. A brother knows that authority is not given, it's taken. And it's taken not through explanation, but through the calm certainty that explanation is not required. Start small. Begin with minor interactions where the stakes are low. When someone questions a simple choice, what you ordered for lunch, which route you took, why you wore that shirt, practice receiving their question without automatic explanation. Feel that urge to justify. Notice how strong it is, how uncomfortable it feels to not explain yourself. That discomfort is your conditioning screaming at you. Sit with it. Let it exist without responding to it. Watch their reaction when you don't defend. See how they often escalate, trying harder to get you to explain. This is not because they need information. It is because your silence makes them uncomfortable, and they are trying to relieve that discomfort by making you reactive.
As you get comfortable with small moments, expand to larger ones. Professional criticism, social challenges, personal attacks. Each time, practice treating the attack as information about them, not information requiring your response. Remember, you are not being stubborn or difficult. You are being selective about which conversations deserve your energy. You are demonstrating that not every opinion requires your consideration. You are showing that your approval of yourself does not depend on their approval of you. The man who never defends himself becomes unassailable because he operates from a place of internal authority. He does not need others to understand his choices because he understands them. He does not need others to approve of his decisions because he approves of them. This is not arrogance. Arrogance needs to prove itself. This is sovereignty. Sovereignty simply exists. When you master this principle, you will notice something interesting happening. People will start treating you differently. They will think twice before challenging you casually. They will speak to you with more respect, more consideration. Not because you demanded it, but because you demonstrated that their validation was never required. The weak defend. The strong simply are. Your mission now is to identify one area of your life where you automatically defend yourself. Maybe it's your career choices, your relationship status, your lifestyle decisions. Whatever it is, practice receiving questions about it without explanation. Practice treating challenges to it as irrelevant data. Watch how this single shift changes not just that dynamic, but every dynamic in your life. Because the man who needs no defense has no weakness to exploit. And men with no exploitable weakness, they control every room they enter. That is your blueprint. Execute it.